Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Mikhail Peters. Great, I'm starting to have that problem with my computer again where half the time it's deleting the video. So we'll try to get through this quickly and hope that that does not happen. I see that the videos I posted recently about Finland are really going well. So I think, and I try to focus on some of those for a while. Ugh, it's hard because I really like doing the Russian videos and stuff, but the Finland videos make me more money, so it's like... And they always are better when I'm in Finland. It must be something with, my location on YouTube. I have no idea. Alright, so today's video is going to be about children. Again, no, it's going to be about my experience raising a child in Finland versus the US. You have some food. See, she needs the attention too. She really needs to participate in these videos. But before the video got deleted, I was saying, you can tell I really just don't care at this point with my channel, because half the time I'm waking up, my hair looks crazy, and I'm wearing pajamas. But it's when she's in the best mood, so I have to film it then. And then all the time that she's asleep, it's not worth it to do videos, because I need that time to be handling other stuff, like doing my PhD class and whatever. The one class I'm trying to get done, which is actually surprisingly hard when nobody else is helping me watch her. That's my own fault because I'm being greedy. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about the things that make having a child in Finland very easy compared to the US or really anywhere else. So, as I have said kind of jokingly, it sort of pays to have a child in Finland. Obviously, you should not have a child just because you want to get paid money. That makes absolutely no sense. I feel like having a child is probably one of the hardest jobs ever because it's a job you can never leave because it's literally a 24/7 job. So that would make no sense. There's no amount of money that can possibly compensate having a child because it's a ton of work. So what I want to talk about really is all of the, benefits, I guess, of having a child in Finland. So compared to the US, we get absolutely nothing. The closest thing we get to this is now this Trump account, which is not even tax-free. And when you pull the money out of the investment account, you have to pay taxes on it. Because my child was born in 2025, I actually did open one of these this past tax year. Because obviously, I'm only an American citizen, which means I will pay taxes in America for the rest of my entire life. Unless I renounce my US citizenship, which, honestly, I'm probably not going to do because I'm not really nationalistic in any way, and it just doesn't even really make any sense because my whole family lives there, so that's not going to happen, despite the fact that, oh, you have to pay taxes. Yes, you do. Oh, well, the end. Okay, so, now, we don't have anything like this child benefit allowance that exists in Finland, which is $100 and something euros a month, which you get until the child is 18 years old. I believe that in Russia, they also have something. She's really competing for the limelight here. Yeah, say it. What do you have to say about this? What do you have to say about the child benefit allowance? Let's hear it. I think she likes it. Me too. It's great. It pays for your diapers. Thank you. Okay, so then we have what is this thing called? In Russian, it's maternal capital. I don't know how much it is. Yeah, 100 and however many euros a month. I think it's 120 or something. It's really not that much money, but hey, we will take any free money we can get, so let's not complain about it. Something else that is really stupid of me that I did not realize was there's some amount of money that you get paid until the child is 9 or 10 months old. I don't know how they decide whether it's 9 or 10 months, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said somewhere when I looked it up. That you get for, you not working for the first month that your child is alive. That's if you... What? You have all these peas you still need to eat. Here you go. What? You don't want it? Alrighty then. Great. She's now getting bored with the everyday thing. Sorry, we haven't had any novelty in a while because we haven't even been here a month. Yeah, this baby, it's really hard to keep her entertained, not gonna lie. I have to bring her somewhere with a lot of people, which means this is why she's always at the university, because if I have nowhere else to go, that's the easiest place to bring her, where there are just a bunch of people walking around. Or the mall. The mall works too. But then I have to have an agenda at the mall and not unintentionally buy more random. I was trying to say more random stuff from the New Yorker because I think that certain words you cannot use. Okay, so this video keeps getting deleted. I guess it's not meant to be. I'm joking that it's a sign from the universe that I'm supposed to not make this video, but probably I just need to restart my computer, and because it's me, I'm lazy. Now I'm feeding the baby some yogurt. Yeah, I feed her everything, honestly, except for regular cow milk, which is in my coffee. So yes, the other things that I've been trying to explain here are that, you know, I don't like driving. I've made the joke that for me, being in Finland, it is actually a luxury not to have a car. So I was explaining how I'm like, yeah, the only friends I have who've gotten rid of their cars in the US are people who live in cities. And I certainly do not want to move to a city just to not drive, because the only thing that I hate more than driving is being in densely populated areas. So Finland is ideal because not only do I not have to have a car, but it's very sparsely populated here. It is literally the best place ever for me. So, as I was trying to say, once upon a time I was talking to one of my American friends. You know, he had a Finnish grandparent, so he came over here, and I think he's still around. I don't know, I don't really talk to him anymore. Kind of forgot about him. Maybe I should reach out to him. Okay, anyway, so he was telling me, he's like, you know, parenting in Finland is like parenting on easy mode. And I keep thinking about this. And, you know, there was a time when I remember, you know, my stepmom actually, oh my god, dude, please do not play with cords. This baby's already trying to do electrical stuff. No, do not do that. Okay, so she's like really interested in that kind of stuff, like cords specifically. So anyway, he said parenting in Finland is like parenting on easy mode. And I would have to agree with this. And anyway, part of me wanting to be here long term was knowing that. In Finland, they have the expression, it is a joy to be born in Finland, and yes, I could not agree more. Now, compared to raising a child in the US, I'm going to talk about some of the financial situations here. So, in Finland, you can work. Okay, if I had a job, hypothetically, I would be getting my whole normal salary for 1 year. Then, the following 2 years, I can just not get my normal salary. However, they cannot terminate my position. This is a very interesting concept in comparison to the US, where there is actually a thought process by which you do not want to hire a woman of childbearing age because there is a chance that she may need to go on maternity leave. This kind of feels like a joke, considering the fact that maternity leave in the US is barely 3 months at that. So, yes, you know, we do not have, for such a traditional place, you know, compared to Europe, we really do not have family values. I don't know. So, ew, you put her in the yogurt. Now we have to wash her again. Great. Okay. Lovely, lovely. Now she's sitting up like a big girl over here, and I'm feeding her yogurt. We love that. Okay. So, yes, this is what I was explaining where, okay. However, if you stay at home for 3 years with the child, you do end up getting some sort of other amount of money. Because for me, it's like I was compensated for something the first year, and I guess it was like the low amount of whatever a salary would have been or something like that. I don't really fully understand how it worked. But apparently that's only for 9 to 10 months, according to whatever research I did. So, yes, you are allowed to stay at home with the child for up to 3 years, and then you get a different amount of money, which is like a couple €100 a month, I think, or a few €100 a month. However, you would... What? Say it. You would be doing that instead... What? Hello? All right, back to me. You would be doing that instead of putting the child in daycare. And I think you only pay for daycare if you're making, like, making a lot of money. So, the dad. Yes, we love that too. Okay, so, please have some yogurt. Delicious. Okay. Yeah. Man, this video is coming out way worse than I thought. I wish the first recording just took... If we're going to compare that to the US, the cost of daycare is now at $1,000 per child, if not more. And again, you barely get maternity leave. And what was the other issue? You're not getting any sort of like random amount of money a month, like the way you would in a lot of other countries. Why are you trying to play with this yogurt? No, you cannot do that. Oh no, we're gonna have a meltdown. Here you go, play with this chocolate. That's for you. Okay. Fun. Okay, so play with this other random chocolate. Yeah, we've reached the point of her actually being able to keep it together for this video. Okay, so that's why we end up in a lot of situations where women are out of the workforce and staying at home raising children, because that is unfortunately or fortunately, whatever, just is how it is. Like, you know, I come from, as I joked, a long line of housewives. Like, literally every woman, not every, but 75% of the women in my family were housewives. So I'm an exception. And, you know, I'm saying how, like, yeah, especially in, like, a single parent situation, I'm really not, how am I saying this? I'd rather take the easy mode. You know, even though, yes, I have a lot of family support and my family just wants to take the child, it's different than being in a place where the entire system is structured towards that. Another big thing for me is wanting the child to learn Finnish, obviously, and be bilingual, so that's where daycare would really be advantageous. I did some research recently that was telling me that if you want a child to become proficient in a language at some point, you should expose them to it before the age of 2. So, because Finnish is a hard language, that might be a good idea. So, yes, there's daycare. You can ride the buses for free. I was trying to explain that because I hate driving, so I love riding the bus for free anyway. And that's until the child is 4 years old in the stroller. You're getting this monthly allowance, this child benefit allowance of 100 and whatever euros a month until the baby is 18 years old. You're getting some sort of money for the first year. And then you might still be getting money until the 3rd year, or you're getting free daycare. Like, amazing. This is just so crazy to me. Whereas, you know, in the US, that's not going to work. Even certain things, like, you cannot, because of safety and, you know, the US is a very litigious country, you cannot resell your baby car seats, whereas in Finland you can. So there's all this stuff that, like, you have to buy a lot of things new that's making it very expensive to have a child in the US. So, I don't know. I mean, that's why, again, I made the joke, like, I was like, I bought an apartment in a place that loves to enable people with children, but, like, very honestly, that's true. Even, speaking of that, even if you own an apartment, you can still apply for a monthly housing allowance. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Somebody in the sauna told me about that, and I was like, okay, interesting. I did look into that recently, but don't have too much to report with that, necessarily. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, there are a lot of benefits that exist, and it's like, yes, one of the issues is like immigrants using these benefits, blah blah blah. But I was also making the point that it's so interesting that despite all these benefits for having a children, Finnish people are still apprehensive of having children. That's why the only solution to the population problem is immigration. Me. Yeah, so I don't know, but okay, anyway. So I guess that's mostly the point of this video, is just that having a child in Finland is really an easy place to have a child because of all these benefits. You know, people are like, I think it's great that you're raising your child in Europe. Generally speaking, sure. But again, as I keep telling people, I will keep going back and forth to the US until I don't have a reason to anymore. And I still do not know what that reason is going to be. I told somebody one time maybe it would be getting married, and then that person was like, maybe not. And I was like, you know what? You might be right. So, I don't know. But I think the complicated thing for me in this situation is I really want my child to have a relationship with her family. I've heard of a lot of Finnish people growing up who would, like, come back to Finland for the summer if their parents were abroad. I ended up making a lot of friends in university whose parents drug them around the, is that a word? Dragged them. It's like swim. I don't know. Man, exactly. Native English speakers. We know English so well. No, we don't. It's a crazy language. Yeah, their parents were dragging, there we go, them around the world their entire lives, but they would still come back to Finland in the summers. I think maybe I want to do that with my child. Thank you. in the summer or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to look like, but I just know that I am very appreciative of this opportunity that I have with, raising a child in a place where it's very easy to raise a child. I had somebody asking me about, like, oh yeah, I want to have a baby here, and it was somebody who's also, like, an immigrant, or is immigrant even the right word? Like, student, like somebody who's here on a student visa. And I was like, yeah, or student residence permit, whatever, it's not a visa. But I was like, look, I think Finland's a great place to, like, give birth and have child. Like, I agree with that. I'm like, but being pregnant sucks. I hated being pregnant. Don't talk to me about that whole experience. No, but I really liked how, like, the nurses spent a lot of time with me, too, and, like, made sure I was really okay during my pregnancy. They don't do that in the U.S. No, definitely not. So, yes, basically, there are a lot of benefits to having a child in Finland. And, if you have the opportunity to have a child in Finland, I would recommend it. Sounds strange, but yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what our future is going to look like with this baby, but I just know that the way things are right now, I'm incredibly grateful. So that's going to be everything for talking about raising a child in Finland, and I don't know. I got to think of some more video ideas, but yeah, like I said, it pays in some ways. Not that you should have a child to get money. That's a terrible idea, but know that you will be supported, at least somewhat financially. All right, until next time, bye. Say bye. Would you like to say goodbye on this video? Ew, you have yogurt all over your face. That's disgusting. Okay, bye.